Hello and welcome to my scrap room. I wanted to show you a small tag mini album that I did out of canvas, and I decided to make it nature theme so that I can fill it with pictures of my son playing in the park. On the cover here, first things first, I tried to stamp on all of the pages that I cut out of canvas. You can see it a bit better here on the back side. I used a Hero Art stamp, a big background stamp, which is my absolute favorite, and used lots of laces, some Tim Holtz products, some Ranger products, and I'll walk you through it. On the cover here, I stamped the background, as I mentioned before. I used a die cut in canvas. This is by Prima. This is a canvas resist, and I just stained it using some tea dye distress stain. Just rubbed some on my craft sheet and then just sprayed a little water, and then I just stained it, and you can see the design showing through like this. This was the first time I tried it and I really enjoyed it. I stamped the letters using a small wooden stamp that I have, just cut them out, distressed everything with walnut stain to give it a little bit more definition. I used some butterfly punches that I punched out with my absolute favorite Martha Stewart punch. I really adore these butterflies. I used some organza ribbon that I pleated here on top of some vintage lace that I used, some flat back pearl trim, beautiful I Am Roses flowers. These are the semi-open rosebuds, I think. And then I used some tissue tape by Tim Holtz to make that kind of pleated rosette that he does. This button is from a collection of My Mind's Eye. I cannot tell it now which collection it is. I just thought it went perfectly there when in the cover. And then with alcohol ink, I just altered the color of this keyhole, also by Tim Holtz, which I really enjoyed doing. On the binding here, on the binding ring, I just tied into a bow some seam binding that I hand dyed using the distress excuse me, the distress inks, again on my craft sheet, and then I just kind of crinkled them up to give them a bit grunge distressed look. Now the first page. The album is really simple. I just wanted to use up a lot of my scraps. I use this craft resist paper by Tim Holtz, which I also love, and some lace here, some double lace here, and again the flat back pearl trim. Then onto the second page. Again, pretty simple, just stamped background, a little bit again of the canvas by Prima, a little I Am Roses flower, some stamped sentiments that I wanted to use, and the little butterfly by Martha Stewart. Then another part of the paper. We have here again the little bunch shots. I just overlaid them, the little one and the big one. A bit of lace that I gathered here from my stash, and a die cut from Prima with Dance. I stained this using tea dye. The next page just has some ripped and distressed with a paper distresser by Tim Holtz. I just used scraps of the paper. I can do some journaling, I can place some photos on top. I just pleated a little bit of lace here from my stash. Love this lace, it's very vintage looking. Again, some grosgrain ribbon that I hand dyed, tied it into a bow, and placed it on top of an I Am Roses petal flower with the small butterfly from Martha Stewart. See if I don't get lost here. Okay. Next page is pretty simple. It benefits again from the look of the lace on the opposite side. Love this paper with the craft resist. Another I Am Roses flower, a black pearl, the butterfly, and the flat back pearl trim, which I can't live without. Some more of my seam binding that I dyed. This is my favorite page. I just created a small side pocket here. Used again a bit of tea dye, wild honey and tea dye seam binding, pleated everything, and then used the flat back pearl trim, the small butterflies, and then I made a tag. Just using some scrap for some journaling. Okay, I get confused here. Now, on this page, I just left it really plain. I just used a bit of the paper. This is two gardenia petals, my favorite from I Am Roses. Beautiful brad in the center. I popped up a skeleton leaf here in the back, and some tiny rosebuds again, and the scrapbooking flowers. These are great fillers for any project. This one pretty simple as well. With the paper, I just tied a bow out of some grosgrain ribbon, hot glued a I Am Roses petal and some vintage metal button from my stash. And we're back where we started. So I hope you enjoy it, and please remember to comment and subscribe. Thank you.